I know I talk about Chicago a lot, but in this case, we haven't talked about California specifically in a while and the amount of violence and danger that's still prevalent out there. And you know what's even wilder is you would just think that, people are moving past gangs and stuff, and then you realized the gangs have not changed. They've just evolved into something just I don't even recognize anymore. Like they come up with these cliques and hoods and groups of people. It's not just one color versus another color. It is very, very different, and it is ever bit as dangerous as it ever was. But let me tell you guys about the story out of California. This is out of Stockton, California, of all places. Do you guys know what makes Stockton, California so important on the AFC podcast? That's right, because there was a little girl by the name of Billy Simone Williams who we advocated for and advocated for justice to get justice against her stepmother, who we believe took her life and killed her, even though the dad got caught up in it too and he got time in prison too. But our goal was to try to bring justice for that baby. That's the same Stockton, California that this story is coming out of. And if you look this up on YouTube, you will find multiple YouTubers that have been talking about this ongoing violent cycle for a long time with these kids and these stupid ass gangs. Okay? So I'm going to give you the much shorter version. I'm going to give you the much shorter version of this. But before we get into the details, I need to let you guys know that I may or may not use some strong language. So viewer discretion is advised. This is not intended for small children. And let me give you a disclaimer. So mommy of three, let's get it.
Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, new website articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer.
And I'm getting this story from latimes.com, and y'all want to brace yourselves for this. There was a kid's birthday party, little kid's birthday party. To give you the synopsis in a nutshell, there was some people there who have some gang ties, and some people found out that they were there, and those people who are who the ops, or whatever you want to call them, the opposers, the opposites, or whatever you want to call them, the opposition, came and shot up a child's birthday party, leaving 3 children dead, little bitty, promising, beautiful little children dead, and 1 adult dead, and many others injured over gang stupidity. Okay? Now, I got to give a shout out to my friend, and I got to say she's like my buddy. Shout out to Alice, because Alice, again, that is Billy Simone Williams' auntie. I reached out to her, and she sent me more information than I could even process. But the information that the news has on this story, they were only given a half-ass version of the story. I'm going to be honest with y'all. A half-ass version. And the reason I say that is because they didn't give a motive, and they didn't even give the suspects. And I'm just like, why would you not? Especially like if you're trying to really clue the people in as to what this is all about. But guess what? That's what we're going to do here. So we're going to talk about that fool right there. Though the city of Stockton has battled gangs, and shout out to them because they call it out in this article. That's how I found this article. The city of Stockton has battled gangs and worked to quell violence in the streets before. A brazen and horrifying shooting at a toddler's birthday party over the weekend that left 4 people dead, including 3 children, has left the city leaders reeling like never before. They quote, "We have gang shootings and homicides in our city, but this hits differently," says Stockton Council member Michelle Padilla. "This is something no one will ever forget." At least 1 gunman opened fire at the Saturday birthday party, wounding 11 people and killing 3 children who were ages 8 years old, 9 years old, and 14 years old. And there was a 21-year-old man who was also killed in the attack. The 8-year-old was identified by her family in a GoFundMe page as Maya Lupian. Let me see if I can get her face so you can see her. That's Maya, a third grader at Aspire Apex Academy in Stockton. A 14-year-old by the name of Amari Peterson, who is, let's see if I can find them. So Amari is the young man right there, second to the left, who was identified by his family's GoFundMe, where he is described as bright, loved, and a promising young soul. He was also a football player, a basketball player, a brother, a son, and a cousin. Let me see. And there was one more who is Journey Rose Riatutar Guerrero. I'm sorry, I know I didn't pronounce her middle name correctly, but that's Journey Rose right there, the third to the right. On Tuesday, San Joaquin County Sheriff's officials say that they have not made any arrests or identified any suspects. That's what's going to make my video different. This is why this needs to go viral, because I'm going to give you guys some clues. They have not made any arrests or identified any suspects in the attack and are still investigating possible motives, including any possible links to gang members or 2 local rappers who were in attendance. So yes, this is gang related, just so y'all know. This is 100% gang related. Okay? Our investigation team is going down all paths, spokesperson for the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, Heather Brent, said, by releasing misinformation or assumptions that can hinder our investigation. But the information I'm going to give y'all here is not going to mess that up. Brent confirmed 2 people who are associated with the rappers and attended the party were taken into custody by Stockton police on Monday on suspicion of violating the terms of their parole, but say that the arrests were not connected to the shooting. The shooting left the community in shock over the holiday weekend. And they quote, "It's never been gangster to kill kids," Lee said during a vigil Sunday. "I hope the people in our community make the right choice and contact law enforcement." Basically, see something, say something. In a statement, Lee said he also met privately with parents and relatives of the victims. "This is a moment for unity and focused leadership to guide our community through this crisis, to demand accountability and bring those responsible to justice, and to stay resilient in our fight to end senseless thugs with gun violence." Since they keep calling it gun violence, I'm going to tell you it's actually thugs with guns. In an interview, Lee said city officials had to look at not just finding those responsible for the shooting, but looking for the root cause of violent crime in their community. The lack of investment in these communities has created a culture where this continues to happen and people are numb to it. Without resources in the community, he said, addressing gang culture in the city will continue to be a challenge. For now, he hopes that anybody with information about the incident will come forward. The gang culture in Stockton, this no snitch culture, to me, is part of the challenge in transforming this community. Hopefully people will step up. City officials have worked with police and advocates and looked for ways to curb violent crime for years, seeing at times small victories. So far this year, the city has recorded 34 homicides according to Stockton Police Department statistics, which should be 0, but I digress. In 2004, the city saw 53 homicides. On Monday, Padilla said she visited a school where one of the young victims attended, and instead of being greeted by students happy to see their friends over the Thanksgiving break, saw children grieving their classmates who had passed away. I think I can skip some of this. So here's the thing. The solution. There is a lot of solutions, but I think there is a couple of solutions that we can actually implement right here and right now, especially when you have some of these parents who are celebrating a child's birthday. So you have people who are already parents to young kids. I think it was a 2-year-old's birthday party, if I'm not mistaken. Number one, stop having kids unless you are married. That's one solution. Don't have kids unless you're married. Number two, if you're a woman, don't have kids under the age of 25 years old. Number three, if you're a man, don't have kids under the age of 30 years old. Number four, make sure that before you have children that you are financially stable and have a stable roof over your own head before you have children. Number five, maybe get some extended education outside of high school. If you don't have a high school diploma or degree, get you a GED and then go to college, get you some type of college. It just makes it to where you're less likely to end up in gangs and doing stupid shit. Okay? Number four, maybe consider where you live at, the communities you live in. Maybe try to find places that are safer. Move away from the bullshit. If the bullshit won't change, then change your location, right? What are some other things that you could do? Maybe you could actually give your children names that mean something. One of the most important gifts you can ever be given is your name. Give your kids names that mean something. Not J. Marquavius and Martavion and Jamarius and like, what kind of names are those? They're made up, and you give those kids those names to stand out rather than to blend in. It is better to blend in this society, this melting pot. You blend in, and you're supposed to coincide with society, right? You fit into society. The cultural norms is for you to go out and work and earn and not steal and not break the law. Do as the Romans do. The law of the land is to follow the laws and follow the rules, so follow the rules. That's a simple freaking thing to do. But you have to have accountability in the home, and you cannot do that with only single mothers raising kids. Sorry to break this to you. This is single parent household culture. And guess what? The numbers bear that out. You're watching from Stockton. Thank you for listening. I appreciate that. Shout out to you. Let me know what you think. If I'm saying something that you disagree with, we are not going to block or time you out. I definitely want to hear what you got to say. If you disagree, feel free to speak it in the chat, but I definitely want to hear your opinions, especially since you're from there, because y'all know I got a lot of love there in Stockton, California. I want to see not only Stockton do better, I want to see California do better. I want to see our communities do better. This gang shit, and I'm going to tell y'all something. People always wonder, and they ask me, like, if you come from gangs, Jay, then why do you speak about this stuff, especially if you've done it and been a part of it? You know why? Because if you've done dumb shit, then you ought to be the first person to speak against dumb shit. If you did dumb shit as a teenager and as a young adult, then the last thing that you want is for your kids to do dumb shit and end up with a record and felonies and misdemeanors on their record, making it hard for you to even try to integrate back into society. So when you have kids, you don't want your kids to go, you want your kids to have better than what you had. So you have to set the example. Therefore, if you didn't come from a stable household, then why would you want to put your kids at a household that was not stable? Not a two-parent household. The numbers bear it out, and the numbers say, not all, but the numbers say that our children and families and neighborhoods, when you set a standard for there to be a two-parent household, those households are usually more stable, and you've seen that over history, over time, since the beginning of time. And we've been liberalized and leftified so much that we move so far away from that. And we say, you know what? Being gay is okay. You know what? Having kids out of wedlock is okay. Being a hoe is okay. Catching STDs is okay. Having as many kids as I want and don't have to take care of my kids is okay. The government will take care of it. It's okay to have generational poverty. It's okay to have generational government assistance. That's cool. I made it. If it was good enough for me, it's good enough for you. And that's the stupid, the R word. I want to use that R word, but I'm not. That's the stupid ass mentality that simply needs to be broken. And all you have to do is realize that if there are statistics out there, if there are stereotypes out there, just don't follow them. Stereotypes are out there for a reason because they're saying this is the stupidity. Don't follow that trend. Why get mad that it's there? Well, they making us look bad, y'all, not the actions. And again, that's the part of the accountability. That's why we don't need to have single parent households, whether it be mothers or whether it be fathers. Single parent households are bad, period. You would wonder why does DJ get onto the mothers so much? Because the mothers have the majority of the kids in their custody. If men had the majority of the kids in their custody, then I would speak to the men. You are talking to a person that has watched my friends grow up and die and get shot and stabbed and be in graves. And I go to graveyards to go see my friends and reflect on my friends that are fucking dead from this gang bullshit. That's the life I've lived. I've watched people die in my face, in front of me, on the ground, bleeding out, dead. Over arguments, over disrespect, over you stepped on my shoes, you spilled a drink on me, you looked at me the wrong way, you fucked my bitch, you tried to holler at my girlfriend. My baby mama told me you said something about me, y'all. What up, cuz? What up, blood? Oh, now somebody gotta die. But I thought Black Lives mattered. I know other lives matter because they behave that way. I tend to talk about Black lives because I'm just like, it seems like we don't value our lives enough. I think if we valued them more, we would save more Black lives. Okay? Now, this might involve more than just Black people, but again, that's the dichotomy of California because California is very mixed. It is a very, very mixed culture, right? So you have a constellation. I don't even know if that's a word. Constellation. I guess it's going to be a word today. And you look at this, all of these different races. These are all men. All men. You have all of these men doing this to each other, ruining each other's future, and they say, you know what? I don't have a future, and you're not going to have a future. And that's a stupid ass mentality. You know the reason why they behave that way? Because they don't see any value in themselves. You know why they don't see any value in themselves? Because they didn't have a father in the household. The father is the one that these boys should look up to and say, what did my daddy do for a living? What did my daddy grow up and become? If your daddy grew up to be something, then I want to be something. If your daddy wasn't there or your daddy wasn't shit and your daddy was in jail, then those kids tend to follow that. These boys tend to follow that. They need an example. So if you wonder why they act like they don't care about nothing, it's because they don't care about themselves. This is why you can go kill everybody else's kid. You can go kill all these ops, and you can sleep at night and think nothing of it, knowing that this little baby and these other little babies would never get an opportunity to grow up and become anything. If you ask me, I think I've given all of the solutions right there. Does anybody disagree with that? Y'all do me a favor, hit that thumbs up if you're watching. The individual that you guys see right there is, I think he was one of the individuals that was targeted. What up, LA? Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you, man. I think this fool right here, this gang member right here was one of the targets. And because he was attending, I don't know if he was attending because of his kid or something like that, some type of way he has a tie there, and he ended up being a target. And they didn't care who was there, when was there, why was there. They wanted them dead, and they were going to kill anybody to get to them. And y'all are looking at this bloody mess all over this place. It's just flat out ridiculous. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and I'll let y'all listen at the news videos. I think I got a couple. Here we go.
Or video discs under certain circumstances. Without federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
And I went ahead and started my TikTok page, so I'm going to cut that little piece right there, and I'm going to post that to TikTok by itself because I think that's pretty powerful. If you're asking for solutions, the solutions are literally things that you can change every single day. You can change it in your own life. You can change it in your kid's life. You can change it in your family member's life. But you gotta be able. It's kind of like in counseling. They teach you the first thing that you have to do is you have to identify the problem. You have to acknowledge there's a problem. And then you have to identify the problem. If you won't identify it, if you won't acknowledge there's a problem, then ain't nothing going to change. I'm going to try to keep this short. Let's go. You said the police are thick out there right now. I could only imagine. But I appreciate you being in the chat. Like, have they talked about any suspects yet out there? Do you know if they got some names or people that they suspect for doing this? Because I think they expect there's suspecting at least one person being the shooter. But I want to know what you think. All right, here we go.
Tonight, we're also learning the identities of the 2 remaining victims who were shot and killed in Saturday's mass shooting in Stockton at a 2-year-old's birthday party. 8-year-old Journey Rose, you see her there on the left, a 3rd grader at Commodore Stockton Skills School, and Maya Lupian, she's on the right, an 8-year-old who was a student in the Aspire school system. The others who were wounded ranged in age from 8 to 35. Tonight, we're putting some ages and names to more of these victims.
Your reporter Tori Apodaca has been speaking with loved ones and learning more about each of them. She's joining us now live from Stockton with their stories. Tori?
Marley, Ashley, the pain and shock is still so raw for the people who knew those 4 victims well, and they don't want their loved ones to be forgotten. We have seen dozens of people throughout the community who have been showing up this evening to lay down flowers and candles out in front of the banquet hall where this all happened. We want to warn you, some of these images and what you're about to hear might be hard for some viewers.
I thought horror movies were scary. No. Horror movies are not scary. What's horrifying is seeing your kids and seeing bullets flying everywhere and you trying to save them.
The 4 victims killed in a mass shooting at a 2-year-old's birthday party. 4 young, smiling faces who were sons, daughters, brothers, friends, each with their own stories, cut short.
Oh my God, they took my baby. They took my baby.
Gut-wrenching emotions pouring out of 14-year-old Amari Peterson's father when we sat down with him.
He played for the Central Valley Saints.
His son, a star athlete that he had a deep bond with and had changed his life for the better.
He's a good kid, and he went to this, celebration for a friend of his. It was his friend's daughter, I believe.
And Patricia Flores, the aunt of the 21-year-old victim, Susano Archuleta, who we met at a candle vigil as she was searching for some peace. 8-year-old Maya Lupian's family says she was the light of their life, an outgoing 3rd grader at Aspire Apex Academy, who was a purple belt in karate, and 8-year-old Journey Rose, a 3rd grader at Commodore Stockton Skills School, who loved to learn and dreamed of becoming a doctor like her big sister.
Just senseless, innocent kids living life, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Many community members' hearts are also hurting as they view photos like these from inside the banquet hall where the shooting happened. Party decorations scattered around the room with bloody footprints marking the ground. A void for these victims' families and friends whose own stories have now taken a traumatic turn.
Everybody's getting together around and just start cutting the cake, and all we heard was gunshots.
Now at 5:30, her child's birthday party became the scene of a deadly mass shooting in Stockton. That mother speaking out for the first time. Tonight, we are learning new details about what happened inside that children's birthday party that became a deadly mass shooting Saturday night.
4 people died, including 3 children. Tonight, the mother who hosted that party for her 2-year-old is speaking out.
I actually thought it was my balloons popping. It was gunshots. And everybody just fell to the ground. It was just unexpected. I don't know what happened. I'm a mother of 3. So for me to see kids on the floor and just bleeding and I can't help them.
The police looking for leads in hopes of finding the gunman responsible. Reporter Gabe Ferris from our sister station KFSN has the latest tonight.
In this building at a child's birthday party Saturday night, the victims who died were just 8, 9, 14, and 21 years old. A newly created GoFundMe page identifies the 14-year-old as Amari Peterson. His aunt shares he was a football and basketball player with a bright future, and that his only mistake was being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Authorities now trying to track down whoever is responsible for the attack.
Our investigators have not stopped. They are going through every single lead. Leads are pouring in. Information is pouring in from the community.
Investigators cleared the scene late Sunday. And today, as we approached, we saw this, a birthday cup still filled with a drink. It is a reminder of what started as a celebration.
It touches my heart deeply that Stockton is in the state of where we are right now with this violence.
The sheriff's office has largely remained tight-lipped about the investigation.
In school, and she loved her and draw. We are learning more information about the 4 young people killed in that mass shooting, starting with Maya Lupian. She was 8 years old. She was a 3rd grader at an Aspire Apex Academy. The school shared a statement from her family saying that Maya loved to dance, sing, and draw. She was a purple belt in karate and loved being active. She excelled in school, and she loved her extracurricular activities.
A GoFundMe has identified the 8-year-old as Journey Rose Rio Tutar Guerrero. She's described as kind and playful. Journey Rose was in the 3rd grade and loved to tell her family about what she learned every day.
Family and friends have identified the 21-year-old as Susano Archuleta. Susano was at the party with his girlfriend. His family was told that Susano protected children and his girlfriend when the shooting broke out, putting them in a closet to hide.
And Amari Peterson was 14 years old. A GoFundMe page created by the family remembers Amari as bright and loved. He played football and basketball and was planning to go to college.
The word devastating doesn't even begin to cover it. That family gathered inside of this building on Saturday to celebrate the birthday of a 2-year-old. They would have never imagined that just 48 hours later, it would turn into a memorial for their own child. I want to warn you that the details the father shares about the final moments of his young son's life are simply gut-wrenching. Any father remembers the day their child is born.
He was just like the perfect gift from God.
But this father, Patrick Peterson, is now burdened to live with the day his son died.
All I could see is my son crawling on the ground and me trying to resuscitate him.
At just 14, Amari Peterson took his last breath.
He had 1 bullet hole right above his heart.
Amari and his family, a few of the dozens on Saturday who were just trying to celebrate the birthday of a 2-year-old.
I just heard gunshots, and then the shooter came in, and he came in. I turned my back and I looked at him, and then I just started seeing him shoot. Just sit down.
Patrick's daughter was grazed, and in the panic before he could even react,
everybody running off, and then my son is just sitting there, just crawling, trying to get up. So I got my baby. I had to hop back over the counter, and I'm trying to see what's going on with him. I'm trying to give him CPR and the bullet, and he just got blood coming out his face, and it's just something that a father should never have to go through.
What no one should ever endure is now on a painful replay.
Every time I get ready to lay down, I'm like laying over my son while he's sitting there breathing, trying to breathe. Every day he would tell me, "Dad, I love you. Dad, I appreciate you." Every night, every morning. Every night, every morning, that boy would tell me he loved me.
A loving boy, a gentle soul, a life taken, and a community shaken.
He was loved by like so many people. He loved sports, he loved football, he loved basketball. You know, he ran a little bit of track, but overall, he was just a gentle soul. And I just can't see why God would let something like this happen.
And that is
All right, so this video is short. It's about a minute long, and I want y'all to hear this out. And this is actually from the mother who was hosting the party. So I'm gonna make this bigger on the screen just a little bit so y'all can hear from her. I have no idea what that is that is tattooed on the on her neck right there. No idea. But check it out. Let me let y'all hear from her. This is the mother who was hosting the party.
All I can say is that I'm sorry. If I could do anything to prevent this, I would. I threw a birthday party for my little daughter. She actually turned 2, and I just wanted all my family to come together. Everybody's getting together around and just start cutting the cake, and all we heard was gunshots. And everybody just fell to the ground. It was just unexpected. I actually thought it was my balloons popping. It was gunshots. And I'm just so shocked and lost, and I'm lost of words. I'm speechless, and I just want to say I'm sorry to all the mothers out there that lost their kids at my birthday party. My sister actually got shot. My cousin got shot. My son's friend got shot. My 3 of my friends got shot. I work with the youth. And that's why it's really hurting me, because I see youth all day. I see kids all day. I'm a mother of 3. So for me to see kids on the floor and just bleeding and I can't help them, and I help people that I help the youth at my job, it was hurting me not to help them on the floor.
I can't tell what that says on her neck. It's like BITY and then something at the top. I couldn't really tell what it says or what that means. But again, I think, in my humble opinion, a solution that would help is maybe to stop embracing this thug culture, this thug music, thug behavior, procreating with thugs, procreating with these fools the second that they get out of prison. I honestly don't know if we're going to stop embracing the thug culture, so I just think this type of thing is just going to continue to keep going. But you can literally make a choice every single day to walk away from it, and that's what I hope and pray and ask that they do. So you don't have stories like this. You don't have lives lost. And I think all of these lives that were affected and were lost were people that could have grown up to become anything. I think all of these kids had a bright future. And for them to go through something like this is flat out nightmarish. It really is. So I want to extend a rest in peace to all of the souls that were lost. I want to send prayers not only to all of the people who were affected, to the city of Stockton, California, and to y'all state. Like the state, even on a political level, has a lot of issues in itself. But if you see something, say something, somebody knows something, and there was a thing between the gangs, I forget the names of them. Did I write them down somewhere? Let me see. I might have a name of the gangs that were involved. Let me see. So if you guys want to look this up, more information is going to be coming out about it, okay? So let me check and see what my friend sent me. Oh, that's not Facebook. There we go. That's Facebook right there. Let me see. It's a rapper from Stockton who was targeted at a kid's birthday party. So that rapper's name is MBNEL. I don't even know how you pronounce that. How would you read that? MBNEL, which is, let me see. This individual, if I'm not mistaken, this was one of the targets, allegedly. It's a war. It's a gang war between EBK and Flyboys for several years now, and some of the guys who were at the party are Flyboys. So I guess they have something to do with some rap and music and stuff like that. But again, you know, it's a toxic culture. So maybe we'll do some choke biddy. Yeah, I don't even know what that even means. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for listening to the story. Make this go viral because maybe, like I say, people might not have even have seen this. So we could at least get a good start on this. And let's pray for justice and go from there, okay? And we'll bring you more. When we get some names and suspects and get some arrests and get some convictions, we'll talk about this some more. That's what I want. I want to see justice. Justice for all of those who lost their lives and for all of those who were affected by this bull crap, okay? Thank you.